The Stoic warrior is not born in comfort. He is forged in solitude. In a world that fears silence, he embraces it. In a time where men seek validation from crowds, he walks the path alone, trusting only his discipline and purpose. Every step he takes is a statement that he does not need the world's approval to know his worth. The Stoic warrior understands that the greatest battles are not fought on fields of war, but within the human spirit. The battle between doubt and faith, between weakness and strength, between surrender and perseverance. He rises before the sun, not because someone tells him to, but because he has learned to command himself. He understands that walking alone is not loneliness, it is clarity. When he walks alone, there are no distractions, no masks, no noise, only truth. Every hardship becomes a lesson, every loss a teacher. He knows that pain will visit him, but suffering is a choice. He accepts pain, embraces discomfort, and converts adversity into power. The Stoic warrior's code is simple: remain calm in chaos, stay grounded in victory, and stand tall in defeat. The world cannot break a man who has already chosen to be unshaken. To rise alone means to take ownership of everything: your life, your failures, your destiny. The Stoic warrior does not blame, complain, or wait for someone to rescue him. He understands that no one is coming. The rescue mission is his. He looks in the mirror and sees both his enemy and his savior. He works when others rest, studies when others waste time, and trains his mind as fiercely as he trains his body. When fatigue whispers, "Quit," he answers with, "Not yet." When fear says, "You can't," he replies, "Watch me." Rising alone demands unshakable discipline, the kind that does not depend on motivation, applause, or reward. It means building your strength in silence, preparing for challenges no one sees, and developing the mental armor to endure life's storms. The Stoic warrior does not chase ease. He seeks growth. Every setback is fuel. Every rejection is redirection. Every obstacle is an invitation to rise higher. To rise alone is to master yourself. Because when you conquer yourself, no external force can ever defeat you. Winning alone is not about glory, it's about integrity. The Stoic warrior knows that real victory is invisible. It's the victory over the ego, the victory over the temptation to quit, the victory over the noise of self-doubt. He wins by staying true to his principles when the world tries to corrupt him. He wins by showing restraint when anger burns inside him. He wins by keeping his heart pure in a world that rewards deceit. To win alone means walking the harder path, the path of character over comfort, purpose over pleasure, and resilience over recognition. The Stoic warrior's success is not defined by applause or medals, but by his ability to remain unbroken under pressure. He has mastered the art of being still while the world trembles, calm while others panic, focused while others scatter. He walks alone not because he rejects the world, but because he refuses to be controlled by it. The Stoic warrior wins not for the crowd. He wins for the man he sees in the mirror. The world will not understand the Stoic warrior, and he does not need it to. They will call him cold because he does not react, arrogant because he does not follow, distant because he does not depend. But he knows the truth. Peace comes when you stop explaining yourself. The Stoic warrior does not need to justify his silence, his grind, or his solitude. He knows his mission. He knows that greatness demands sacrifice, and most people are unwilling to pay that price. While others seek comfort, he seeks strength. While others drown in emotions, he rides their current with control. While others fall apart in adversity, he stands firm and lets pain refine him. The Stoic warrior understands that people may abandon him, but his principles never will. He builds his world on discipline, not approval, on courage, not convenience, on self-respect, not validation. Walking alone is not about isolation. It's about alignment. It's about choosing your path so clearly that no one's opinion can shake your direction. Rise alone, because no one can rise for you. The Stoic warrior knows that strength cannot be borrowed, and courage cannot be gifted. The world may lend you comfort, but it will never lend you character. Every trial you face is meant to sculpt your spirit. Every challenge is proof that life believes you are capable of more. When the nights grow long and hope feels distant, the Stoic warrior reminds himself, this too is part of the test. Pain is not punishment, it is preparation. Each scar tells a story of a man who refused to kneel. Each failure sharpens his resolve. He stands alone on the battlefield of life, not to prove he is superior, but to prove he is steadfast. He walks the road of self-mastery with patience, humility, and endurance. The Stoic warrior does not seek an easier life. He seeks a stronger soul. And in walking alone, rising alone, and winning alone, he discovers the truth. He was never truly alone. He was always walking with purpose. The Stoic warrior understands that solitude is not emptiness, it is power. It is the sacred space where distractions fade and truth speaks. When the noise of the world fades away, he can finally hear the voice of his inner command. He does not fear being alone, because he has learned that loneliness is not the absence of people. It is the absence of purpose, and he is never without purpose. In solitude, he sharpens his thoughts like a blade. He reflects on his actions, corrects his course, and reinforces his principles. The world runs from silence, fearing what it might reveal, but the Stoic warrior runs toward it. He knows that growth demands reflection, and reflection demands solitude. He is not addicted to constant motion. He knows when to retreat, rebuild, and return stronger. In his moments of stillness, he becomes dangerous, not to others, but to his weaknesses. When he walks back into the world, he walks as a man fortified by clarity. Solitude is his training ground, not his prison. It's where he transforms confusion into vision and pain into purpose. The Stoic warrior does not seek approval in silence. He seeks mastery. Every Stoic warrior has faced the darkness, the moments when doubt whispers, "You are not enough." He has heard it, felt it, and endured it, but he did not bow to it. He used that darkness as his forge, allowing it to burn away weakness and leave behind only willpower. Life will break every man who depends on comfort. But the Stoic warrior welcomes discomfort as the truest test of strength. When life hits hardest, he does not ask, "Why me?" He asks, "What can I learn from this?" That mindset transforms pain into power. He doesn't waste energy on what he can't control. Instead, he focuses on what he can. His reactions, his decisions, his effort. He knows that every challenge carries a lesson, and every loss carries a seed of wisdom. When he walks through darkness, he does not search for light outside. He becomes the light himself. Every failure becomes fuel for his next rise. The Stoic warrior does not run from pain. He studies it, understands it, and transcends it. Because he knows the deeper the suffering, the stronger the soul that emerges. The Stoic warrior's mind is his greatest weapon. While others let emotions control their actions, he controls his emotions with discipline. He feels anger but chooses patience. He feels fear but chooses courage. He feels sadness but chooses strength. Mastery of the mind is the essence of his power. He trains his thoughts daily, feeding them with wisdom, cleansing them of negativity, and sharpening them with reason. He understands that uncontrolled emotion is the greatest enemy of victory. The Stoic warrior does not fight blindly. He fights strategically. When chaos erupts, he remains calm, not because he is emotionless, but because he is emotionally intelligent. He refuses to be ruled by impulses or temporary feelings. He has trained himself to act based on principle, not pressure. This mental discipline separates the strong from the weak. It allows him to navigate storms without being swept away. The Stoic warrior is not unfeeling. He simply refuses to let his feelings decide his fate. The world respects the calm man because calmness is rare. And in the calm of the Stoic warrior lies unstoppable strength. Discipline is the heartbeat of the Stoic warrior's life. It is the invisible chain that binds him to his mission, even when motivation fades. Motivation is temporary. It comes and goes like the wind. But discipline is eternal. The Stoic warrior rises early not because he feels like it, not because it is his duty. He trains his body even when it aches, because he understands that comfort breeds weakness. He chooses the difficult path, because it forges endurance. While others make excuses, he makes progress. He knows that consistency beats intensity and persistence beats talent. Every day, he builds small victories that compound into greatness. Discipline gives him freedom. The freedom to control his life, his habits, and his destiny. It's not a prison. It's the ultimate form of self-respect. The Stoic warrior's life is not ruled by moods or trends. It's ruled by principle. He is not chasing the easy path. He is walking the right one. Every time he chooses discipline over desire, he becomes a little more unbreakable. The Stoic warrior does not fear failure. He studies it. To him, failure is not the end. It is feedback. Each defeat carries within it the blueprint of success. The weak see failure as proof that they cannot win. The Stoic warrior sees it as a test of how much he truly wants victory. He knows that failure humbles the arrogant, strengthens the persistent, and refines the wise. Every fall teaches him to rise more intelligently. He does not dwell on mistakes. He dissects them, learns from them, and moves forward with greater precision. The Stoic warrior does not allow failure to define him. He uses it to design him. He understands that success without struggle is hollow, but success earned through perseverance becomes sacred. Each scar is a reminder of a battle survived. Each setback is proof of endurance. He looks at failure and says, "You have no power over me." For the man who refuses to quit, failure is merely a stepping stone. The Stoic warrior walks with quiet confidence, knowing that as long as he keeps moving, defeat can never be permanent. The Stoic warrior knows that control begins with acceptance. He cannot command the winds, but he can adjust his sails. Life will not bend to his will, but he can bend his will to life. He accepts that challenges, loss, and disappointment are not curses. They are constants of the human experience. Instead of resisting reality, he embraces it, for he knows that acceptance is not surrender, it is power. When he accepts what he cannot change, he reclaims his energy to change what he can. While others drown in frustration, he swims through calm waters of understanding. He sees events not as good or bad, but simply as what they are. His strength lies in his ability to remain stable when the world around him shakes. He is like a mountain in storms may strike, but they cannot move him. This is the Stoic way, to remain centered, grounded, and unbroken. The Stoic warrior understands that control over self is greater than control over circumstance. And through acceptance, he achieves mastery over his mind, his fate, and his peace. Pain is the greatest teacher of the Stoic warrior. He does not run from it, he walks toward it with courage. For he knows that pain refines what comfort corrupts. Every great man has been tempered by suffering. Their strength was not born in ease, but in endurance. The Stoic warrior wears his scars with pride, for each one tells a story of perseverance. He understands that pain is not the enemy, it is the sculptor of his character. When pain visits, he does not curse it, he listens. He asks, "What are you here to teach me?" And in that moment, pain becomes purpose. It teaches patience when life delays, humility when pride rises, and resilience when hope fades. Pain introduces him to his true self, stripped of illusions, excuses, and weakness. Through pain, he learns gratitude. Through struggle, he learns empathy. The Stoic warrior knows that without pain, there is no depth, no wisdom, and no true strength. He does not wish for an easier life. He wishes for the strength to endure a harder one. And through that endurance, he becomes unbreakable. The Stoic warrior does not chase recognition. He chases mastery. In a world obsessed with being seen, he is obsessed with becoming capable. He trains not for applause, but for excellence. He knows that fame fades, but skill remains. Every morning, he sharpens his craft quietly, without seeking validation. While others compete for attention, he competes with his own reflection. His greatest rival is the man he was yesterday. The Stoic warrior values humility, for arrogance is the mask of insecurity. He lets his work speak for him. He does not need to announce his greatness. True mastery, he knows, requires patience. The patience to repeat, to fail, to refine. Day by day, he builds himself like a sculptor builds a statue. Slowly, precisely, relentlessly. The Stoic warrior understands that greatness is not a moment. It's a lifestyle. It's the result of thousands of small, unseen efforts. And when success finally comes, he accepts it with calm gratitude, not ego, because he knows the goal was never to impress others, but to evolve himself. The Stoic warrior's greatest weapon is focus. In a distracted world, his ability to direct his attention is his superpower. He knows that energy flows where focus goes, and therefore, he guards it like treasure. He does not waste time on gossip, negativity, or comparison. He knows that scrolling through the noise of others destroys the rhythm of his own purpose. Every minute spent envying another man's path is a minute stolen from his own progress. The Stoic warrior moves with intention. Every action has meaning. Every decision aligns with his values. He understands that focus requires discipline, and discipline requires sacrifice. He cuts away what no longer serves him, even if it hurts. He trains his mind to be still when chaos surrounds him. To focus is to live with clarity, to act with precision, and to rise without distraction. The Stoic warrior understands that mediocrity thrives on divided attention, but excellence demands total presence. And so, he lives each day with undivided purpose, eyes fixed on the horizon of greatness. The Stoic warrior lives by a code, a set of principles that define who he is when no one is watching. Honor, discipline, integrity, courage. These are not just words to him, they are laws. He knows that a man without a code is easily corrupted, easily lost, easily broken. His code keeps him grounded when temptation whispers and fear screams. He understands that principles are tested in discomfort, not declared in comfort. When faced with a moral choice, he always chooses the harder right over the easier wrong. The Stoic warrior stands alone, if he must, for he would rather walk the lonely road of truth than the crowded path of deceit. His actions are his testimony. His word is his bond. He knows that character is what remains when reputation is stripped away. And though the world may forget his name, it will never forget the strength of his example. The Stoic warrior does not live to be admired. He lives to be honorable. For in the end, honor outlasts fame, and virtue outlives victory. The Stoic warrior is calm, but never complacent. He knows that peace does not mean passivity. It means power under control. His calm is not the absence of fire, but the mastery of it. When chaos rises, he does not panic, he analyzes. When others lose their heads, he keeps his steady. The world mistakes his stillness for weakness, but still waters run deep. He is a storm contained within serenity. His calmness is not detachment, it is command. He feels every emotion deeply, but he refuses to let them rule him. The Stoic warrior understands that every reaction is a choice, and he guards that choice like a sacred weapon. To remain calm under pressure is to display supreme strength. When insulted, he smiles. When provoked, he pauses. When tempted to lash out, he chooses silence, for silence often cuts deeper than words. His calmness confuses enemies and inspires allies. In his restraint lies power. In his patience lies dominance. The Stoic warrior knows that rage burns quickly, but composure conquers eternally. The Stoic warrior is driven not by success, but by service. He knows that true greatness is not measured by how much you take, but by how much you give. His mission is not self-glorification, but self-contribution. He walks alone not out of pride, but out of purpose, to become the kind of man who can carry others when their strength fades. He leads by example, not by demand. His words are few, but his actions speak volumes. He offers guidance without seeking recognition, and protection without seeking thanks. The Stoic warrior believes that every man's duty is to leave the world stronger than he found it. Whether through his work, his words, or his presence, he strives to build rather than destroy. His victories are not for ego, but for impact. He lives with the awareness that time is fleeting and service is sacred. The Stoic warrior does not seek immortality through fame, but through legacy. The quiet legacy of a life lived with honor, courage, and purpose. Adversity is the anvil upon which the Stoic warrior is shaped. Every challenge that sought to break him only made him sharper. He understands that resistance builds resilience. Just as fire strengthens steel, pressure strengthens character. He does not pray for an easier path. He prays for broader shoulders. When life knocks him down, he does not ask for mercy. He rises with greater resolve. He knows that the world owes him nothing. Everything he earns through grit and grace. He turns obstacles into stepping stones, enemies into teachers, pain into power. Every hardship becomes a reminder that he is alive, capable, and undefeated. He knows that adversity reveals who truly deserves success. The weak crumble under pressure. The Stoic warrior becomes diamond. Each trial he endures deepens his patience, expands his wisdom, and heartens his will. When storms rage, he does not curse the thunder. He becomes lightning. The Stoic warrior knows that the path of resistance is the path to greatness, and he walks it without fear. The Stoic warrior's freedom lies in detachment. He has learned to let go of what he cannot control: people, outcomes, and opinions. He does not cling to possessions or praise, for he knows that everything external is temporary. His happiness is rooted in virtue, not vanity. He does not seek validation from the crowd, because the crowd's voice changes with the wind. He stands firm in self-approval. Detachment is not coldness, it is clarity. It allows him to act without desperation, to love without dependency, to serve without expectation. He gives his best and accepts whatever comes with calm acceptance. The Stoic warrior knows that attachment breeds suffering, and freedom begins where attachment ends. He lives simply, thinks deeply, and moves with quiet assurance. His mind is his fortress, and no external event can breach its walls. Detachment allows him to walk through chaos untouched, to lose everything and still remain whole. For the Stoic warrior knows that true power is not in holding on. It is in letting go. In the end, the Stoic warrior walks alone, not because he must, but because he chooses to. He has walked through pain, faced fear, conquered self-doubt, and emerged as his own master. He no longer seeks to be understood, only to understand. He no longer seeks to be followed, only to stay true. His solitude is not emptiness, it is fulfillment. It is the peace that comes from knowing that he has lived by his code, faced his storms, and stayed unbroken. The Stoic warrior's journey is endless, for growth never ends. Every sunrise is a new battle, every night a new reflection. He continues to walk, calm, disciplined, and unafraid. He knows that life will test him again and again, but he will meet every test with the same steady heart. To walk alone is not to be lonely, it is to be free. To rise alone is not to boast, it is to build. To win alone is not to isolate, it is to evolve. The Stoic warrior's path is narrow, silent, and sacred. But at its end, he finds not the applause of the world, but the peace of a man who has mastered himself. Thank you for watching this video.